Hey everyone and welcome. So today we're digging into a book that made a truly massive claim, that our thoughts literally have the power to reshape our reality. Of course, I'm talking about Rhonda Byrne's The Secret. In this explainer, we're going to break down its core ideas to figure out what that really means.
You know, everything in The Secret really boils down to this one single powerful question. Is your inner world, all your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, is that just a reaction to what happens to you, or is it the cause of it? The book argues it's the cause, and that one idea, well, it's the foundation for everything we're about to get into.
Okay, so if we accept for a minute that our thoughts can actually shape our reality, how would that even work? What's the mechanism? Well, the book proposes this universal law that it says is as fundamental as gravity. It's called the law of attraction, and the premise is actually super simple. Like attracts like. The energy you put out is the reality you get back.
So what is this law really all about?
Well, it's the idea that your thoughts aren't just these passive little daydreams floating around in your head. No, they're active, energetic signals. When you're constantly focusing on health, success, or joy, and I mean really feeling the emotions of having them, the book claims you are magnetically pulling those exact outcomes to you. But, and this is a huge but, the law works both ways. If you're focusing on your debt or your loneliness or your fears, well, the book says you're just going to attract more of the same.
To make this whole concept a little easier to wrap your head around, The Secret gives us this really powerful metaphor. Just think of your mind as a magnet. It's always on, right? It's always attracting something. The real question is, what's guiding its pull? Well, the book claims the answer is in the frequency of your thoughts.
So, the thinking goes like this. Every single thought vibrates with its own energy, its own unique frequency. Thoughts of gratitude and love, those are supposedly high frequency. Thoughts of fear and anger, low frequency. According to The Secret, the universe is kind of like a giant cosmic radio tower. It doesn't judge the song you're playing, it just picks up the signal you're broadcasting and sends back experiences that are on that exact same wavelength.
All right, so understanding the theory is one thing, but how do you go from just being a passive broadcaster to consciously choosing your own frequency? The Secret actually lays out a pretty practical 3-step toolkit designed to do exactly that, to help you intentionally apply this law. So these 3 tools, they're meant to work together. First up, visualization. And this isn't just about daydreaming. The book tells you to create this super vivid mental movie of what you want and immerse yourself in it until you can actually feel the joy of it being real. Next, you've got affirmations. Think of these like reprogramming your subconscious mind, just repeating these positive truths over and over to overwrite the old negative code. But the final tool, gratitude, is presented as the real game changer. By genuinely feeling thankful for what you already have, you instantly tune your frequency to abundance, and that just amplifies the power of everything else.
Right, so this isn't supposed to be some abstract mental exercise. The whole point of this toolkit, according to the book, is to create real, tangible change in the most important areas of our lives. So let's take a look at how The Secret says you can apply these ideas to your health, your wealth, and your relationships.
When it comes to health, the instruction is pretty clear. Focus your thoughts on perfect wellness, not on fighting an illness. Instead of dwelling on symptoms, you're encouraged to visualize and feel your body as strong, vibrant, and whole. Now, the book makes a really critical point here. This mindset is meant to support your body's healing and work alongside professional medical care. It is absolutely not a substitute for it.
Now, when we talk about wealth, which is a huge focus of the book, the argument is basically that your bank account is a mirror of your mindset. It presents this really stark contrast. You've got the scarcity mindset, which is all about focusing on debt, bills, what you don't have, and that's said to only attract more money problems. On the flip side, you have the abundance mindset. This is about focusing on opportunity, being grateful for what you have, and believing there's plenty to go around. And that's what supposedly tunes your energy to attract more money and success.
And you guessed it, the same logic applies to relationships. The core idea here is that you attract the love you are, not the love you want. The book argues that if you don't treat yourself with love and respect, you're basically broadcasting a frequency that's going to attract people who also won't. So the work starts inside. By radiating self-love and really focusing on appreciating the good in others, you're said to become an energetic match for healthier, more positive connections. Okay, so we've gone through the core teachings of The Secret, but no deep dive into this would be complete without talking about the major criticisms it's faced and a really common misunderstanding about where action fits into all this. I mean, is it really all just in your head? The biggest critique, and it's a really powerful one,
is that this philosophy can seriously oversimplify real-world problems. Critics point out that it risks blaming people for situations that are genuinely outside of their control. Things like systemic inequality, economic recessions, or just plain old bad luck. The argument is, you can't just visualize your way out of every single external barrier. And that's really the main counterargument to the book's whole premise.
And this brings us to a huge misconception about The Secret, the role of action. A lot of people think it's just about sitting on the couch and wishing for a check to show up in the mail, but the book actually talks about something called inspired action. This isn't about hustling or forcing things to happen. It's the idea that once you've really aligned your energy and your thoughts with your desire, you'll feel this natural, intuitive pull to make a phone call, or take a trip, or start that project. The action just flows effortlessly because the opportunity feels like the obvious next step.
So, to wrap this all up, what are the big takeaways here? First, the central idea. Your thoughts are a creative force, not just a reactive one. Second, you've got practical tools like visualization and affirmations that are meant to help you consciously direct that force. Third, gratitude is the ultimate amplifier, the thing that tunes you into that positive frequency. And finally, all of this internal work, it isn't the end goal. It's what sets the stage for you to take clear, effective, and inspired action out in the world.
Which leaves us with one final, big question to think about. After exploring all these ideas, where do you think true power really lies? Is it in mastering our internal world, our thoughts and our mindset first? Or is it all about the relentless, concrete actions we take in the external world? Maybe the answer isn't one or the other, but somewhere in the dance between the two. Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me for this one.